This is an image of a helmet placed on top of people's heads to help them remember very, very old memories. Nah, that's actually a writing ball. A what? A writing ball, which turned into this, then turned into this, then into this, and this, and this. Ooh, baby. Hey Digmates, it's Dominique, Head of Communications at Digma, and today we're going to talk about the origins of the keyboard, or key story. So where do we start? Common knowledge marks Henry Mill as the precursor. This gentle British man held a 1714 patent for
an artificial machine or method for the impressing or transcribing of letters, singly or progressively, one after another, as in writing, whereby all writings whatsoever may be engrossed in paper or parchment, so neat and exact as not to be distinguished from print.
Unfortunately, we have no prototypes, and it's likely the machine was never actually built. Almost 100 years later, in 1808, Pellegrino Turri was desperate to help his friend, the Countess Carolina Fantoni da Fiviziano. To accommodate her needs, Turri did not only create a typing machine, he also invented the black paper needed to make his invention work. Luckily, he kept some letters written by the Countess. Love letters. These are cool stories of men who dreamt of a better world. But unfortunately, we have little to no proof of these machines. That's until Mr. Rasmus Malling Hansen, oh good old Rasmus, inventor, priest, educator, hummus lover, scientist, a man of many talents, designed the writing ball. This is the 1878 model, though the first patent dates from 1870. Isn't that amazing? What's interesting about this model is the letter or key arrangement. The layout is not a modern one. Duh. But notice how the keys on the outer edges are numbers, symbols, and less frequently used keys. Well, that didn't happen by chance. Malling Hansen developed this model for years, and the layout is a product of careful study and consideration on which are the most used keys. You can say he did some user testing back then. The model is a mechanical prodigy for its time, but it was a commercial failure. Only a few of them were sold, and when Mr. Rasmus passed away at the sweet age of 55, the production of the machine stopped. On a curious note, one of these inventions ended in Friedrich Nietzsche's hands. However, the philosopher despised the machine, as he did with many other things. The typewriter aficionados didn't share Nietzsche's opinion. One of these machines actually sold for 120,000 euros in 2002. We'll have to jump to the USA to see the next big breakthroughs. Enter John Pratt, a lawyer, fashion icon, and newspaper editor who was probably trying to make his own life easier by developing a type printing machine back in 1860. Because of the American Civil War, Pratt moved to England, where he developed and patented his improved prototype or machine for writing with type, also known as Tarotype in 1866. This is a detailed drawing of the keyboard. This is an alphabetical keyboard, a very basic one. Yes, it's split, but it's missing a lot of features, such as a spacebar or the numbers 1 until 0. Why? It's because they were replaceable by the capital I and capital O. Smart. By the way, there are no lowercase letters too. Yet, this is considered as the grandfather of typewriters. Why do we call it the grandfather? Well, because a few years later, the grandchildren were born. A new model was developed by Christopher Latham Scholes and Carlos Glidden. They created their own model from scratch. The prototype, patented in 1868, was very basic. Yup. Looks like a piano. The model improved in the following years. They replaced the piano keys with buttons attached to metallic arms. This is a replica built in 1938 by the Wisconsin Historical Museum, and this was the disposition of the keys. That's when another problem came. The machine, designed for fast typing, started to show malfunction problems when the arm obstructed each other while struck in quick succession. The solution? A rearrangement of the keys. The result was a 4-row display as follows. Now this is starting to look familiar. This was the design they sold to the Remington Company and was slightly altered before the Remington 1 was launched. This is the 1874 model. The machine was very expensive and only few of them were sold in the first years. But the typewriter's popularity only increased in the next 100 years. Did you notice the keys? Here's a detailed picture. Yes, this is it. Time has given life to the QWERTY layout. It's important to acknowledge the goal of the QWERTY is to avoid mechanical issues and not set keys in an optimal position for the user. But why do we still use a layout originally designed to avoid jamming the type bars? A simple answer can be human stubbornness. If it ain't broken, why fix it? That's not until August Dvorak developed his own layout in 1936. He claimed that it not only improved the number of words per minute one could type, but also reduced hand movement, hence reducing injuries. To prove his point, Mr. Dvorak conducted a series of experiments known as the Navy studies. According to his studies, after 52 hours of training, the typing speed increased by 68%. This sounded like a great improvement. But then, if it was better, why was it never adopted? In 1956, Earl Strong conducted a study for the General Services Administration. The goal was to determine the cost and benefits of switching from QWERTY to Dvorak. He trained 2 groups of typists to maximize their speed with both layouts. By the end of the experiment, Mr. Strong concluded that the cost of training the typists with the new layout heavily outweighed the productivity improvements. Years later, researchers Leibovitz and Margolin in the paper The Fable of the Keys explained where the problem lied. Dvorak was so eager to prove the superiority of his layout that he forgot to care about the scientific integrity of the experiment. Some key parts of his research didn't follow the procedure. Thus, it made it less viable as a concrete proof of Dvorak's superiority. Does this mean the Dvorak solution is a lie? No. The theory is still valid. The problem was their experiments. The layout is a result of careful consideration and has a clear goal: to improve the typing speed of the user. Meanwhile, the QWERTY layout is the result of a decision to solve a mechanical problem through different key arrangements, which produced, probably by luck, a very efficient layout. Does it mean QWERTY is optimal? Is Dvorak the solution? Well, that's up to you. Give each layout a try. Modern operating systems allow the switch, and it's even easier if you have a Digma Race. Set a Dvorak layer, and if you find it better, just rearrange the keys and move on. We know this is a hot topic, and we're looking forward to hearing your thoughts about it, so leave it down in the comment section below. Wow, we've gone through a lot so far. Keyboards are developing in different directions. Split keyboards, ortholinear ones, layout improvements, palm rests, tenting, or even the advancements in the voice typing software can be considered in this category. This is an unfinished journey, and we love to share more of this with you. Because let's be clear, our greatest advantage over these inventors is not the technology, but the ability to know the user's first-hand experiences and improve on it. So please, don't stop sharing with us your thoughts and feedback through our social media channels, our subreddit, or even regular mail brought by pigeons. We need your help to keep improving. And of course, if you're interested in more key story lessons, follow us and like this video, or just let us know your favorite topic in the comment section below. See you in the next video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then do so now. It's just there. Yeah, that one. And the bell too. Awesome.